Hello everyone, this is Francesco Bongarrà speaking from Rome, and we're having today a chat with Maurizio Bragagni, who is the CEO of Tratos. With Maurizio we try to understand what's going on in this difficult times of pandemic. We're trying to see how Tratos is facing this situation and how Tratos has been using these moments of handicap to try and transform it in a kind of a resource so that things might get better in some way. So Maurizio, Tratos means cables. I mean, and cables in every kind of situation are linking everyone to everyone. What would be the link between Tratos cables and this difficult moment all the world is experiencing?
The cable is the modern tools that help everyone to keep connected, to energize all the infrastructure, to energize our line of communication, to allow us to have a safer and to have a safe quarantine during the time of this COVID-19. We experienced a very important things. We could stay at home, we could carry on to receive goods, to have light, to have connectivity. We experienced the mobile connectivity like Zoom and other platforms only because there were a network of cables. And Tratos was there to carry on to keep that network to work, to allow that we receive goods, that we receive service, that we were able to contact and carry on to work through all these modern tools that they are connected to cables. Tratos did his job during COVID-19 and carry on to do his job during COVID-19 to keep the infrastructure of Europe and the world working. So our was a great contribution to keep people to link. All our industry, the cable industry, was fundamental for keeping safe people and carry on the job.
Where does it start from? I mean, tell me about how all the business started, because I'm always very intrigued. I mean, I've always seen you as a very active entrepreneur, as a very interesting person, but that you never told me, I mean, in deep, how does the business of Tratos work? I mean, how do you put the stuff on the ground, and how do you perform your business on a global level? Because I understand Tratos is really global.
Tratos is a global company because Tratos started from the beginning to be a global. We born in the 1947. After the Second World War, all our village was destroyed. So our founder, Egidio Cappuccini, moved to Italy, to Argentina. He set up there a cable manufacturer company. That is the job that he founded. And when in 1960 he moved from Argentina back to Italy, what he did it was to create again his experience, to reproduce the experience that he had in Argentina. So we are inside of our blood, inside of our history, the temperament of the migrants, people that they have been moved around the world to find a job, to find a better life. That is our history. And that is our mission. The mission is to create jobs in poor area and depressed area. That is what we did in 1966 when we created the first company in Tuscany, in Pieve Santo Stefano, a village that was kept at that time, still have a lot of unemployment, a lot of people that were moving out to find a job outside Italy. And that is what has happened to them at that time. And so what that has happened in the 1989 when we acquired a company in south of Italy, in Sicily, where we built and we developed. That was the depressed area of South Italy, and that is what's happened in 2008 in Nosli. So our mission is to create jobs in the depressed area. Our vision is to create job our vision is to create cables for connecting world, Tratos connecting world. So we are global because we born global, because our industry is global, because we connect the world, and also because in our experience, through our life, we are migrants. We are people that they are traveling all around the world to find opportunity and better jobs, and to help people to share the life, to connect all together. That is what Tratos is doing since we have born.
That is fascinating indeed. I mean, it's always great to go and look back in the past so that we can kind of see the future. But now we have to talk about the present. Uh, the pandemic has changed. I mean, we can't doubt it. Everyone's habits. The pandemic has had a great impact on everyone's life. I mean, we would have done this interview in person in different times if we didn't have the pandemic. And now, on the other hand, I'm sitting in my office in the Senate, in the Italian Senate, and you're sitting in your office in Tuscany. So we have to find new ways. The question now is, what has changed in Tratos with the pandemics, and what have you been doing to face it? I mean, tell me what's the more striking changes you've been doing in this past 3 months, and I would like to understand also how these changes are going to affect in some way the future of Tratos.
What we have made as an experience during this pandemic period is the technology is available. What Tratos did from the beginning was to take serious the situation, put in safe all our people, smart working from home, implemented a very strong procedure inside of the factories, face masks, gloves, clean place. So we did it what was necessary to keep the health of the people first. But there is an evidence that all of us, we experience a massive change. We have experienced that there is something small can stop everyone, can stop our habits of social life, our habits in the way I would do work. In one way is very important because we experience a novelty. On the other way, we also take acknowledgement about the new technology that is available, that were there available. That is the only reason why we are able now to have this distant conversation, only because the technology were available. And we have seen when technologies are not available, what happened. The vaccine is not available, we have the lockdown. The technology are available, we can survive during the lockdown. But one of the big challenges that I see to everyone is, and to all our society, is that we are going to have a new way how to approach acknowledgement. Particularly all the education sector, it will be not anymore the sector that we have seen in up to now. For Tratos' point of view, we have acknowledged the importance of our sector to the world and the importance of our sector to also ourselves. Without us, there was not the possibility to keep people connected, to have energy, and all the infrastructure from the hospital to the railways to the airplane to the ports to the energy sector, all of that will be down. So we have kept all that ongoing. So we have acknowledged the importance of our sector and our mission and vision. And that is what we want to do it, carry on to do it, what we always have done, keep the world connected.
I mean, you usually talk to the people you work to. I mean, I know you've got a very close kind of relationship, a human relation, which goes with directly with all the single workers. Do you see them happy to continue? And do you think they are afraid for their future?
To answer this question, Francesco, I think that we need to be very honest. And I think that the future is going to be punished whoever has got certainty. But I think that the future will honor and award who is clear. We are standing for certain value. We are standing to create jobs in the poor areas. We are standing to create opportunity. We are standing to connect the world. And we want to do that in respect of all the 17 goals of the United States, to combat hunger, to combat poverty, to defend the environmental. That is what we are standing. And I think that is time that we put our value first. And we just say, we are standing for that and we are doing our job for that reason. We don't know what is going to happen in the future. And of course, a lot of people are concerned for their future. I think that we must all together clear standing for the value that what we believe, for a better environmental, for clean energy, for a better opportunity. We have seen during this COVID-19 that we are only one human being. We are together and together we can do it. I think that it's time to stand for the same value, put apart any difference, stand for the same value, carry on to do that, and to be an open, tolerant mind, and to accept, to fighting for the good. That is the thing that what we should have to do it, and that is the only good message that I can pass to all our people. We are standing for certain value, we are here, and we are going to fight to keep that value ongoing.
That's interesting because I mean I can that faces also the situation of the world economy at the moment. I mean I think what Tratos is facing is essentially what every other business is facing now, and I'm sure you didn't have to change much on the communication level. I mean on the internal communication level, because I mean you're a global country, so I don't think you and your employees are new on webinars or conference calls like the one we are doing today to have this interview performed. But if you can think of one thing that changed the life of your company in this pandemic, could you tell me about that? Just the most important one you think has happened.
I think that what the main challenge that we are facing, all of us, is it's the fact that we have the evidence that we are not in charge, and it's the fact that we have the evidence that we need to accept challenges. We are not in control, and we need to embrace technology to help our life. If someone were afraid of technology, now we have seen that without technology we cannot even survive. So automatization, for example, port automatization. I've seen so many strikes, so many people that were disappointed with port automatization. It's a different way how to manage the port, and it's a good way, in particular during the pandemic. That doesn't mean that technology is rid of jobs. It means that technology is creating new kind of jobs. That is the human being. We have been developed during all these centuries, and what we have seen is a typewriter is not anymore a job. It was a job as soon as a typing machine was created, but now it's not anymore a job. And we develop new technology, and that technologies help our life and to improve our life. I think that the most important things that we have learned all together is to accept and to embrace technology to improve our life and our health. And that's what we have to do it. Let's stop to think about only on trip business. We have seen we can do business also through Zoom. We can do business also through webinar connection. It's a different way. I don't say that is have to prevent. I still believe in business between a person to a person. I think that let's use it, anything that the technology allowed us to use it. That I think that is the most important lesson that all we have learned. Technology is improving the life of the people. People must embrace that technology. Of course, have to control and have to give an important value that is our value. So we can't use technology against what we stand for into our value.
I mean, the fact that you stressed on the clear values as the first element of a production and of a business really intrigued me on this conversation, and I really thank you for that. And I look forward to talk again with you on hopefully on a better future, looking always at the present with a view on the values. Thank you very much.
Thank you.